Guys, welcome to my channel. Today, napasyal tayo dito sa isang Chevrolet dealership at nakita natin yung bagong launch nila na Chevrolet Trax. Ito yung new generation 2024 Trax, the latest crossover SUV that is bigger and bolder than the previous generation. Medyo familiar ako sa Chevy cars kasi meron akong Chevy cars before. So, tingnan natin kung ano itong bagong offering ng Chevrolet Philippines. Itong Trax ay available in 3 variants. Itong naka-display dito yung RS, yung top of the line. Meron din siyang LT saka yung red line. At curious ako, ang una kong tinanong yung presyo. Alam nyo ba, ang presyo nitong RS na top of the line is 1,948,888 peso. Yung base model na LT, ang price niya is 1.79 million. At yung mid-variant na red line is 1.86 million. Ang tanong, justified ba ang presyo na yan? Kasi nagulat ako sa pricing, unang-una pa lang eh. So tingnan natin kung justified talaga. By the way, this SUV is being sold in the US, Canada, Mexico, and South Korea. So, yung unit sa Pilipinas is gawa sa South Korea. At ang Pilipinas ang unang bansa in Southeast Asia na nilaunch itong 2024 na Trax. Okay, simulan natin sa exterior looks. Honestly, nagandahan ako sa design niya. Eye-catching yung appearance niya. Merong bolder proportions. So, compared mo dun sa previous model, it's longer. Lower yung body style niya. Kaya parang head-turning yung athletic stance niya. Meron siyang LED DRLs. Tapos meron siyang LED na projector headlamps. And then meron siyang RS badge dito sa front grille. At yung kanyang Chevrolet bow tie is kulay black. Normally, yellow yan eh. At dito naman sa may fender area, meron siya nung black accent. Pati dun sa may baba ng mga doors. And yung kanyang side mirror is color black na din. Yung kanyang hood, medyo mahaba, which I like. And if you look at the side profile, actually maganda siya. Matte black yung kanyang B-pillar, body colored yung door handles, tapos meron din siyang roof rail na kulay black. Yung likod naman niya, medyo conservative yung look. Meron siyang parang lifted hatchback shape, and then meron siyang rear spoiler na integrated with LED high mount stop lamp na prominent yung kanyang LED tail lights. Okay, buksan natin yung likod. Automatic yung kanyang tailgate. At dito sa ilalim, nandito yung kanyang reserva na donut type. And then, pag ibinaba mo yung cover ng reserva, medyo spacious na yung kanyang luggage area. Tapos, meron siyang ilaw dun sa tabi. Okay, i-close na natin. Power tailgate siya. At meron din siyang shark fin antenna. And yung kanyang roof is also colored black. And since this is RS variant, so nire-represent niya yung RS Sport vibe na may pagka-sporty. So ang nagdadala doon, for example, yung side mirrors niya, yung roof panel, yung roof rail, yung bumper chin, saka yung rear bumper garnish nasa high gloss black palette. It adds flair to the overall look of the vehicle. And it's complemented by the unique two-tone machine-faced 18-inch alloy wheels. Okay, check naman natin yung interior. Yung interior niya parang merong sense of airiness. Doon sa dashboard niya, meron siyang large infotainment system na slightly angled towards the driver. Napansin ko din, maganda yung resolution ng infotainment system. Kaya lang, very disappointing kasi wala siyang Apple CarPlay. Ang meron lang siya yung Android Auto. And yung display dito sa instrument cluster, impress ako sa quality. Para siyang high quality na cellphone. And then mapapalitan mo din yung kanyang kulay. And then marami din siyang mga basic features. Pag mga American cars, medyo unique yung controls. Dito sa left side, nandito yung cruise control na hindi siya adaptive. And then meron din siyang speed limiter. Dito naman sa right side, yung control ng instrument cluster, saka yung hands-free calling. Makita mo rin dito yung control ng kanyang headlights. Nandyan yung control ng leveling ng kanyang headlight. Unique, di ba? So, pinipihit mo lang ganyan para ma-adjust mo yung headlight. Check naman natin yung aircon controls. Yung aircon control knobs niya, ganito yung itsura. Yan. Yung sa temperature, saka yung sa fan control. And then, meron kang parang silver accent dito sa may aircon vent. Ang mga American cars, particular sila about safety. Meron itong driver assist features. For example, meron siyang forward collision alert, meron siyang following distance indicator, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, auto control high beam, meron din siyang enhanced front pedestrian detection. At saka yung low speed imminent collision brake. Meron din siyang integrated brake assist, saka yung vehicle forward movement detection. Aside from that, meron din siyang ESC, yung Enhanced Stability Control, meron siyang ABS, Electronic Brake Distribution, yung Cornering Brake Control, Traction Control, Engine Drag Control, meron din siyang Panic Brake Assist, saka yung Enhanced Hill Start Assist, and Rollover Mitigation. Okay, check din natin yung iba pang mga features nito. Yung ilaw niya dito, hindi siya LED, ordinary bulb type lang yan. Tapos, black yung kanyang headliner. And then, meron siyang sunroof. Yung kanyang manibela is leather wrap. Tapos, tilt and telescopic siya. Pero, wala naman siyang paddle shifter. And then, dito sa baba, meron din siyang dalawang cup holder. Meron siyang 12-volt socket, wireless charger, at saka USB ports. Maganda rin yung design ng kanyang aircon vent dito sa harap. Bilog siya, tapos merong siyang red accent. And then yung steering niya, flat bottom siya. Tapos siya, heated pa daw itong manibela niya, sabi nung ahente. And then nandito yung button for liftgate. Unique yung location niya. Pag pinindot mo yan, tataas yung automatic na liftgate. And by the way, meron din siyang brake auto hold feature saka electronic parking brake na din. Okay, check natin yung upuan dito sa likod. Ang una kong napansin dito, maluwag siya. Ang ganda ng kanyang legroom. Yun, ang luwag. So, very comfortable kang umupo. Tapos, flat yung kanyang flooring. Kaya, yung sa nasa gitna na passenger, komportable. And then, meron ding aircon vent dito sa likod. Tapos, may Type A at saka may Type C na USB port. Napansin ko lang, meron siyang unique locking mechanism. Pagka ilalock mo, ipipress mo yung parang yung button dito sa door. At yung seats niya, maganda yung design, makapal. Tapos, maganda yung hakap sa katawan. And it's leather and merong perforated na portion. While the design is nice per se, hindi ko gusto yung ginamit na plastic materials dito sa mga door panels. Nagmukha siyang cheap, no? So for a 1.9 million car, I expect na yung ginamit na interior materials should be premium looking naman. Check natin yung engine. Yung engine niya is 1.2 liter lang. It's 3-cylinder, but it can produce 137 horsepower because of the turbocharger. Ang torque is about 220 Newton meters of torque. And it is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Medyo surprise lang ako kasi 1.2 liters lang, ano? Kasi yung normal kasi na from mga, for example, yung mga from China, 1.5 liters tapos tinuturbocharge nila. I just don't know if the power is good enough for this kind of vehicle. Okay, let's summarize and I will give you my opinion from the perspective of a buyer. Unang impression ko dito, solid ang build nito. Yan ang mga Chevy, solid ang mga build nila. In fact, dati meron akong 2013 Chevrolet Trailblazer saka 2008 Captiva. Wala akong naging problem sa kanila. At one point, I was given the chance to lead the Trailblazer Club of the Philippines and we had so much fun. Ang dami naming napuntahan, ang dami naming activities, at we are very happy with its performance. Kanya lang sayang nag-stop na yung Chevy ng production ng Trailblazer. Solid na SUV yun . Yun ang risk mo if you're buying this car kasi there's a tendency na i-discontinue na yung selling nito kung hindi siya bumibenta. Yung Chevy, marami na silang nawalang model. Wala na yung Spin, wala na rin yung Orlando, yung Cruise, yung Sail, at saka yung Captiva. And in my experience, medyo may kamahalan ang parts ng mga Chevys. Pero matibay naman sila kasi yung mga parts nila normally assembly. Yung features niya updated naman. Kaya lang meron dalawang items na wala siya na very important nowadays. Yung 360-degree camera at saka yung Apple CarPlay. Ang meron lang siya yung Android Auto. But if you look at the features, maganda naman . Maganda yung exterior design. Meron siyang 8-inch digital cluster display. Merong 18-inch mag, saka yung 11-inch infotainment system. Yun nga lang, ang makina niya is 1.2 liter lang. Spacious din yung kanyang cabin. Meron din siyang 8-way power adjustable seat sa driver, tapos may lumbar support. Meron din siyang wireless charging at saka yung power liftgate. At saka maluwag siya, malapad siya. Very spacious yung interior, maganda yung legroom. Tapos cargo space malaki. At ang isang nakatawag ng pansin sa akin, yung kanyang safety features. Meron siyang e-boost brake system, integrated brake assist, meron siyang electronic brake distribution and stability control, meron ding cornering brake control, panic brake assist, saka yung rollover mitigation. In addition, meron siyang forward collision alert, following distance indicator, yung lane departure warning, lane keep assist, enhanced front pedestrian detection, saka yung vehicle forward movement detection. Of course, meron siyang SRS airbags, anti-theft alarm system, saka yung engine immobilizer. But ang pinaka-debatable dito, yung kanyang pricing. This is about 1.95 million or about 2 million. So mapapaisip ka, if you're planning to buy this SUV, what will be your consideration? Or what are your other options? Una kong naisip yung Toyota Corolla Cross. It's only 1.84 million. Tapos, hybrid pa siya. Then, another option would be the Hyundai Tucson. You can buy a Hyundai Tucson for 1.57 million for gasoline and then 1.84 million for the diesel version. Or you can even buy a Honda CR-V. You can buy yung gasoline na 1.76 o kaya yung 2 million na diesel na 9-speed pa. Or you can also consider yung HR-V. Yung top of the line niya is 1.73 million. And all of them have 4-cylinder engines as against dun sa 3-cylinder nitong trucks. Honestly, pricing lang talaga ang parang issue ko dito. Para sa akin, mahal yung price niya. To me, yung truck should be competing din dun sa mga 3-cylinder engines like yung sa mga Coolray, yung MG HS, yung Tiggo 7, o kaya yung Ford Territory. But yung mga 3 cylinders na yon, nasa mga 1.3 to 1.5 million lang ang price level . So parang naguluhan ako sa product positioning kasi dati yung trucks mas mura yan sa Trailblazer. Ngayon mas mura na yung Trailblazer kaysa trucks. Tapos yung Trailblazer, dati PPV, ngayon ginawa nilang crossover. So, let me know your opinion. So, please comment down below kung tama ba yung assessment ko. Mahal ba ito o tama lang yung presyo? I'd like to know your opinion. Okay, hanggang dito na lang. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you again my next vlog. Bye!